Peter Morris calling. Um, I'm calling on behalf of Dr. Jessica Helen Seuss, who's a senior partner at the emergency department or the group that handles emergency at Community Medical Center in Missoula. I'm going to speak to you for about 90 seconds. All right. I'm going to try and keep it civil. I will keep it civil. I'm going to try and stay away from vulgarities, but I want to explain to you where the situation stands as of today. Now, I spent a good chunk of last night and a part of this morning trying to send my fiance, Dr. Jessica Helen Seuss, into the emergency department today. Now, understand that she's facing this with a huge amount of dread, and understand that she was a medical officer on a SWAT team out of Leavenworth, Kansas, some years ago. That she is a woman who has never, ever called in sick. This is who we're talking about. She has survived a career. Emergency medicine burns people out at the same rate that being a running back in the NFL does. People don't have 20-year careers. She has. She's exceptional. And here she is, full of dread, because what she's looking at today is an ICU department. The intensive care unit has 18 beds, 16 of them have COVID patients in them, and 14 of them of those people are unvaccinated. That is why they are there. This was avoidable. And now what it's come down to is we're going to get to the point of rationing care. I don't know that you really understand what that means, but let me give you a scenario. You've got a 65-year-old woman just about ready to retire and spent her last years, enjoying a life that she's earned. And you've got a 45-year-old guy, father of three, right? Who do you give the care to? Tech-tock. That decision will be made for you eventually. Let me tell you something. It's just like bleeding. All of bleeding eventually stops. But this is the situation you are in right now, and it is inexcusable. They're sending people out of here to what, Denver for the next closest place? And God forbid you should have a heart attack or a stroke at this point, because there's nowhere to look after you. The facilities are not infinitely flexible. There are limits to them, and you have hit them. And now it is time to make a decision about these things. And now you look at that 65-year-old woman who's done everything right in her life. And are you going to give her care? Or that 45-year-old guy, who's unvaccinated, who might not be quite as viable? Who are you going to help? Tick-tock. That decision will be made for you. And you are expecting someone to clean up this mess for you. You think you can just skate right over this mess. And no, that's not what's going to happen. Now, it is the job of the governor of this state to lead in this situation. I mean, this is what you and he and the staff need to do. I mean, at this point, first of all, I know it looks stupid. I know you guys don't care, but mask up. It is your best defense. It is no more than asking you to put on a seatbelt or have the safety on your rifle when you're walking through the woods. This is common sense. You need to do this. You need to make it a priority. And people need to get vaccinated. Again, the data proves it out. This is not theory. This is the real thing happening. And where you are putting the responsibility now, I don't know, I know that Dr. Jessica Helen Seuss is going to come home today and she's going to be wiped out. And I'll patch her up and put her back together because she's going to do it again tomorrow while everybody else is having their weekend. I would like this to remain with you with your staff and with the governor over this weekend. It is time. The governor was more than willing to become adversarial to protect himself when he felt threatened by somebody from the press. Bring that same passion to bear now on the people that he's supposed to be leading. Start with your big donors who are big time, employers of people in this state. But do something. Do it now and do it with the passion and conviction that it's going to take to get us through this. You're already late. You're already so, so, so late. Now, let's see some action from you guys. Is that asking too much? Look, these aren't suggestions. You know, this is not a comment. These are orders at this point. These are your people and they are in trouble. Please do not take this lightly. We've done that long enough and you see where we're at. This is going to affect you or someone you love sooner or later. It's not going to go away on its own. What they can do is exhibit some leadership. It is past time for that. Put some muscle behind it. This is not, I'm not just a regular person calling. I am a regular person. I'm the same person, I'm entirely vulnerable. But this is from somebody who's on the front lines. This is from one of your soldiers. Now, please take this seriously. And let that stay with you across this weekend because it's only going to get uglier. It really is. All right. Are we clear? Thank you very much. Have you a good weekend. Bye bye. Bullshit.